friends. Thanks for watching. So I wanted to explore a concept that I've been encountering. So people will be like, so-and-so is being such a white male patriarch, like doing patriarchy, being sexist or something like that. And the thing is, people have attributed malignant narcissism, the abusive bullying of malignant narcissism, they've attributed it to men. And the thing is, traditionally, men have had a lot of power on the surface, apparently. So it's understandable to kind of hate all men because, well, they've been our father or they've been our bosses traditionally. I mean, now civilization is amok right now. So, but just traditionally. So when somebody is being a bully or malignant narcissist, the easy thing is to be like, oh, you're being patriarchal, you're being a white supremacist. But if you look into books and movies or documentaries that are talking about bullying, females bully plenty. People of color bully possibly just maybe even worse than white people bully. I don't know. But the thing is, children can be malignant narcissists. Females can be malignant narcissists. People of color can be malignant narcissists. White men, heterosexual, do not own the traits of malignant narcissist. And people better get a clue on that. Like, this is so abusive. It's so sexist to attribute bullying and say that, white straight men are the only ones that demonstrate supremacist behavior. Black people demonstrate supremacist black behavior. Oh my goodness! I mean, they rake you over with, if your hair is bad or if you don't have a nice skin treatment and don't have nice nails. White women are just like that too. I've had Latino women rake over my face because I didn't look the way they wanted me to look. I'm supposed to have this conspicuous consumption of the American dream. So people of color are malignant narcissists just as well as white people, just as well as white men can be malignant narcissists. Everybody can be a malignant narcissist. Children can be a malignant narcissist, okay? Every demographic, a gay person, a trans person can be a malignant narcissist. And I would say that it seems like the people who are really pushing for a lot of what's really big now in activism about this visibility. It's not even, I don't even feel like it's about rights or safety. It's like about being featured, being visible, and having somebody's sex life and their genitalia at the forefront of the public's mind. For some reason, certain demographics in the LGBTQ pedo community want us to think about what they do in the bed, what that person is doing in the bedroom, what they have in their nether regions. And for some reason, that's really on the brain, and they want children to be thinking about what they do. Children, prepubescent children, they want children to be immersed in gay culture, in trans culture. And I am, people have to figure themselves out, and I support people figuring out that, they like the color green and they want to learn Italian and they like certain fabrics or something like that. But nobody is saying you must love the color green. and these are all the great things about the color green, and these are all the shades of the color green, or these are the dialects of Italian, and this is going to be in your children's cartoons, and this is going to be in your library story time, and this is going to be in the little books you read, and this is going to be what your teachers talk about in history class. Like, folks, like, it's Jesus come soon, because this is just psychotic. There's like a mass psychosis going on, and we have so many tools at her disposal. And the thing is, the people, like the very people who are being brainwashed to think that malignant narcissists are only white males, white straight males, like those people who think that, like, they know some self-help stuff. They know some stuff about enablement, or codependence and stuff like that. Like, folks have a kind of a vague idea, or at least I think so. And what's been going on this past year is just it's like the wool has been pulled over the eyes of otherwise experienced, smart people who really should know better. And the thing is, there's all these doctors who are speaking out, let's say, against what's been going on. But I feel like a lot of authors should be totally outraged about what's happened. Like, Brené Brown, why are you not speaking out about the shamelessness that's been going on, for instance? I mean, I don't feel like it's Brené Brown's like whole job or whatever, but I mean, I just feel like and of course, why people, big names, don't speak out, because they know that they're going to be targeted. But who cares? All right, we are not going to have. We may not even have a country right now. It is July 21, 2021. There may not be a United States of America right now. Who knows what has infiltrated, what has invaded. So you're not going to have, it seems to me, like, people are not going to have a job or a home or the stability of family when there's like a famine, when the grid goes down, when they're going to go door to door because they want to do injections, or when they have the 6G grid up and people are being remote controlled. Like, I think we're in this complacency because we're assuming that things are going to settle down. And have things settled down? Have things kind of like, I don't even like using the word normal, because it's almost like a dirty word because it's been twisted. But have things been standard? Like, when we had the 2008 crash, we heard about it. You heard people who lost their homes. I saw some news. I didn't really meet a lot of people. I mean, in the past, I think there was another scandal about like a lot of people's insurance. I guess Murdy Hadoff, that guy, Ernie Madoff. So a lot of people's life savings went up in smoke. So I think I met somebody who had that. So every once in a while, I'll have met somebody. But like this past year, for sure, pretty much everybody's life has been touched. And there's a few people who have been fortunate enough to be isolated. They live out in a rural area. They work from home, so they didn't really have to deal with the face identity concealment or whatever. But it seems to me there's no turning back, and it seems to me that we are definitely in like a science fiction type of movie, apocalypse, catastrophe kind of a thing. And the catastrophe is really more of a conceptual catastrophe. It's a societal collapse. It's a moral collapse that's occurred. And people are just like, well, I just want to make sure I keep my home, and, and we're still going to eat out and travel. And I mean, and of course, you got to take care of your responsibilities, and you kind of have to give your mind a break from all this insanity that we've been subjected to, all this abuse that we've been subjected to. But I feel like, and I hope I'm wrong, but I feel like any catastrophic movie you've watched about collapse and kind of invasions and stuff like that, I feel like that's really on the horizon. And the thing is, like, every week something weird, like something just surreal and significant seems to happen. Like every week, every couple weeks. And maybe I'm just watching the news a little bit more, because I've never really watched the news. I'm not even watching the news that terribly closely right now, but it just seems like, we're closer to a war, and so many people have died. I mean, like how are we like comfortable with this? That not only have people been executed from, in nursing homes and hospitals, and they've been executed for decades, because I watched a video about how this happens because hospitals get some money, or somebody, or the state gets estates from elderly people with a lot of money that are in hospitals and nursing homes. So people get executed. And this is a thing. And there's this guy who's talked to Congress people for like decades, because that's what happened to his mom. And nobody cares. Nobody, people know about this. And this is a thing, executing people in nursing homes and hospitals. And I've also heard that that happens with difficult patients. And I have observed this, that a friend of mine had her elderly, fragile mother, I think, was I don't want to go into it, but I think if something's too difficult, if that elderly patient or disabled patient can't be a convenient cog in the machine, if that person creates too much frustration for that technician or that nurse or whatever, whomever, I think they eliminate them. And like, a lot of people really love the medical personnel and stuff, and maybe a lot of people have had really great experiences. And I can't say I've had a lot of contact, in emergencies or whatever. Personally, when I've gone in for help, for doctors' consults, they've been a nightmare. They've been terrible. They've been uninformed and unhelpful. But I just think medicine is another job, and people go into that job not because they want to help people. By the time they're there a while, I don't think they really want to help people. They want to make sure they have enough money for the lifestyle and the prestige that makes them feel good in our current life. And I wish people would stop idealizing them, And the thing is, though, it's a job. I mean, I'm glad people show up. And it would just be nice if people didn't have to be executed. It would be nice if the good people didn't turn a blind eye. And I think is the worst thing, is when good people do nothing. Because that's exactly what's been going on this past year and a half on Earth. Is good people are doing nothing. Good people are like, oh, I want my kids to go back to school, or, I got to make sure I, and I mean, I understand, like, you got to pay rent, you got to eat. But this, people are such cowards. And the thing is, like, it's not like you have to do anything dramatic. Just like write a letter, like have an opinion. Like, people don't even have, like, an effective opinion. People will just, there's like, I was talking with somebody today, and how, when I was watching videos about when, because this person was talking about how this white guy was, like, just, it was very confusing, but just like being an activist, but he was a rich white guy, and but taking on the mantle of the, the victim, but it was a rich white guy. And so I was saying that when I watched the riots and the people who were setting things on fire, I was like, there's this lady, she had the most beautiful hair. You knew it was a great haircut and great hair product, and her clothes were very fine, and she was very slender. I mean, just that rich, like, look, taking those expensive, rich slendering supplements, and, she goes to the spa, and she had her, love slave boyfriend with her, and they were all wearing masks, but they were rich, white, well-off people setting fire at at what they were trying to say was a black protest, but it wasn't. It was rich, white people setting things on fire, and doing these coordinated, destructive things. And so, because she started talking about this rich white guy, taking, like, appropriating a demographic quality. Then I was describing this, and then she started saying, yeah, and there was, like, white supremacists that came, and they were doing flamethrowers, and cops were shooting people. And I was like, because I like what? Like, I wasn't saying, like, I said that the rich white people that were setting things on fire were making the black protesters look bad, right? I mean, and the thing is, they weren't black, and they weren't from that neighborhood. They were rich white people setting a black store owner setting his store on fire, or setting somebody's car on fire. So these rich white young Marxists come to a black neighborhood, set things on fire, do violence, calling it a black protest. But again, they're white, they're rich, they're not from there. So it's not a black protest. It's a protest of some messed up, sick, malignant, narcissistic, rich white kids who are liars, thieves. Because it's, instead of saying, I'm a rich white kid, this is our rich white kid protest, they go to somebody else's neighborhood that has nothing to do with them, and they destroy things under the guise pretending to be black people. And what's worse is, like, the woman I was talking with was talking about white supremacists, like, harming the black people or harming whoever. And maybe the rich white people were supremacists, but I think what instead, I was talking about, like, wow, it's messed up that these rich white people go pretend to be in a black protest, and then the lady brings up white supremacists instead of acknowledging, wow, that's messed up that rich white people came to a black neighborhood, set stores and cars on fire, and did violence in the guise of a black protest, but they were rich white people. Not like, no, she wouldn't. Like, what is the block? When we see rich white people as a provocateur, you know, stirring up what's supposed to be a black protest, like, what is the block with seeing that messed up behavior, folks? Liberal white people or black liberal people. If a rich white person is manipulating or harming a black neighborhood, that's wrong. Like, it just boggles my mind. Like, I can't. I'm not that. I don't consider myself that deep. But if this is too hard for people to get, I need to relocate to another country or something. But anyways, this is, I can't believe this was 20 minutes, but this was therapeutic to kind of vent this frustration that I have that white liberals want to hate, like want to call everything sexist and white supremacist. And when in fact, there may be like this, yes, there's white supremacists, there's black supremacists, there's hetero or homo supremacists. That's what's been going on now. There's trans supremacists. Everybody's supposed to be trans. Everybody's supposed to be homosexual. It's like illegal to be heterosexual. Really. I mean, in the political correct realm. I mean, and I'm speaking from 30 years ago when, like I was like, wow, that's messed up. You're getting married, you're having kids. Like, what? Like, you're supposed to kind of like shake the boat and I don't even really understand what the anti traditional thing. Well, I think it was some, like, again, malignant narcissists can appear anywhere, and they can be in traditional culture, and so I think it was a reaction to malignant narcissists in traditional culture. So when, like, in the 80s and 90s, I would meet people who were like, I'm a recovering Jew, or I'm a recovering Catholic. And in the 2000s, I met somebody who was like, I'm a recovering Mormon. And so malignant narcissists like position of power. And in the past, it was more traditional stuff. So religion was a place where a lot of abuse occurs. Because malignant narcissists go to where they can have power and target easy prey. And religion is a good place. Schools are a good place. Nursing homes, hospitals, those are a good place because people have their defenses down. They're weak. They're vulnerable. And very few people know how to handle malignant narcissists unless it's another malignant narcissist, unless it's another narcissist, I guess, or somebody who's really independent and courageous, and there's not a lot of people out there like that. Like they I don't know what happened to them. I don't know if they just don't make them, or if they've been all, culled from the population by the deep state. But anyways, I have rambled, and it's helpful. It's just kind of like therapeutic. So this is my self-therapy. So if you listen to this, thank you so much, and God bless.